To get the game, shout you out. You know, if he doesn't shout you out,
starting just in a few moments. If you can, please remember to silence your phone. We got TV cameras going, so please silence your phone. Do that right now as we speak. 30 seconds, Chris. All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome here to Southern University's Fieldhouse as we get ready for another historic day here at Southern University. The way the press conference is going to go today, we're going to bring in Coach Banks, Athletic Director Banks. He's going to talk about the process he went through in determining the new head coach, and we're going to bring up then Terrence Graves to come up. He's going to make a statement, and then after Terrence Graves done, he'll answer any questions you've got. We'll bring Coach Banks back up, and he'll also answer any questions that you have for him at this time. A little bit about Terrence Graves. Played at Wake Forest 1989, then made his way to Winston-Salem in 1990 to 1992, where he played for Hall of Fame head coach Pete Richardson. He then stayed there as DB's coach in 1993 before coming to Southern University as a grad assistant from 1994 to 1995. From 1996 to 1998, he was special teams coach here, as well as linebackers. He took over the co-defensive coordinator position in 2000 and 2002. After leaving his first season, he came back to Southern University. He left one season in 2003 when Southern won the national championship. He was not here at that time. He came back in 2004 to coach defensive coordinator and linebackers position from 2004 to 2009. He came back to Southern University for a third time as assistant head coach, defensive line coach, as well as special teams coordinator. So he has been here a total of 17 years, 15 years with Coach Pete, and 2 years, of course, the last 2 years that he's been here. He just coached at his 26th Bayou Classic, and it was his second as interim head coach. He is 2-0 as a head coach coming in for Southern University's job. So again, total here 17 years. That means he's coached in 194 games here at Southern University. In that span, they've had a record of 124-70 here at Southern University. Here on the Bluffs, he's been a part of 2 national championships, 1995 and 1997, 3 SWAC championships, 97, 98, and 99, and 2 SWAC Western Divisional championships in 2004 and 2022. He is the 21st head coach at Southern University, and he's the second interim coach to be named as head coach here at Southern University. Now to talk about the process of what it went through, we bring in the athletic director of Southern University, Roman Banks.
Thank you, Chris. Good evening to everyone. Obviously, I call this, when faith and purpose meet opportunity. I think that's what this day is all about. I want to give some thank yous, and first give thank you to our President Chancellor Shields. I want to thank our Board of Supervisors, our chairman, Myron Lawson, also our athletic chair, DeMoin Rutledge, and the other supervisors for guiding and working with me through this process, and I'm very appreciative to them. I also want to give a shout out to my staff, my executive staff, and the associate ADs that sat at that table a long time to help us navigate through this process. A lot of candidates, and particularly two guys that's been very inspirational and guiding me and keeping me steadfast and staying focused through a process when you're trying to do your very best. On Hall of Famer Niels Williams and Avery Johnson. Those two guys have been propping me up and giving me words of wisdom as we go through the process and keeping my eyes focused on the prize. This process is whenever you think at Southern University, dive into a process of trying to find a football coach, it's almost equally important as finding a president. And so there's been a lot of people sowing thoughts and opinions into us, and I appreciate them all. And but today led us to this candidate, and obviously in my statement was opened by saying that in a sense, without telling y'all the whole story, everything come back full circle. And it's a testament if you keep working hard and you stay focused, people watching you and be ready for your opportunity. We looked at a lot of candidates, and I'll be totally honest with you, we looked outside of Southern University, and thinking as such that we'll find a candidate that come in and can get us excited about how we move forward to being the best in our league. And as we were searching, as we were looking, and you have a lot of things that you have to be a realist about what your situation has to offer, and who can maximize your situation. And as we continue to talk to candidates, it still always kept coming around to that we perhaps may have a guy right here. And I was in the office with a couple of my employees, and I put everything on the table, and I kind of turned the resumes over, and there was we put some highlights. And this particular candidate has said, I think 31 years of experience, a total of 9 championships. I think as a player at Winston-Salem, they went to 3 championships and won 2. I think you start talking about the pedigree of who he worked under and where he's been and brought back experiences. A person that coached in the Bayou Classic and is undefeated. Everybody started saying, wow, that's a hell of a resume. And then I started looking at it even more so, and we have had a chance to see him work and have had an eye test that's equally important. And I think for me, one that can galvanate, I think we have a team in place that's pretty good, and to start thinking about a person that can galvanate these players and get them excited about playing every Saturday, and who had a leadership capacity to put the leaders, the coordinators, and the other coaches in place to help us be successful. And as tugging, going away from that, something kept bringing us back to him. And so that's the reason why we're here today. And that's the reason why I'm confident in the decision that's been made. I think that by all of y'all being here, and I see Coach Graves, you done brought out a lot of our old pros in here that took care of us. The wisdom is in the room. And I look around and I think it speaks to, I think, a person that can befriend our fan base, and a person that's approachable, but yet commands a lot of respect. And so without any hesitation, I would like to announce to everyone, pending board approval on tomorrow, our next head coach of Southern University football, Terrence Graves. to the side and buy you classes. We had yesterday announced to the guy, they told him go get his cap and tell him, show me how you put that cap on for the guy. They love every minute of it. And obviously this is his jersey right here. Can we get a round of applause for Coach Graves?
Give me a second. You know, I was raised in a Pentecostal household, so I have to prepare myself accordingly. Thank you. First of all, I want to say to God be the glory, because He is, therefore I am. From Norfolk, Virginia to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Not bad for a little boy dreaming in Park Place, Virginia. First of all, I want to thank the Southern University Board of Supervisors, the Athletic Committee, the President Chancellor, Dr. Shields, Athletic Director, Coach Banks, for allowing me this opportunity to lead and serve as your new head football coach at Southern University. To my family, the Graves and Rollins family, as well as my extended family, the Goss and Claude family. My blessing, my daughter China, my son-in-law Corey, my two grandchildren, Summer and Landon, who refer to me as G-Pop's babies. I want to thank all of them for all the love and support they give to me. To all my coaches, from the Colonial Boys Club, the Norfolk Recreation Bureau, Maury High School, Wake Forest University, Winston-Salem State University, and to all my coaches in the profession. First and foremost, my coach, legendary Coach Pete Richardson, Coach Blunt, Coach Gillis, Coach Morgan, Coach Fobbs, and Coach Dooley. I thank them all for giving me the opportunity to hone my skills in this profession that we love, the game of football. I'm eternally grateful. To my players, the returning ones and the ones that we will sign. We're not going to rebuild, we're going to reload. But we're going to build on the momentum, and we're going to win every day. We will dominate each day. From the time our eyes open and our feet hit the floor, we're going to dominate the day. To the prospective student athletes, we know where you are. Coaching staff has already made contact with a lot of you. We know where you are. We're going to start Louisiana first as always, and then we're going to cast our nets out nationally and internationally. And if it's some on the moon, we coming to get them too. We're going to develop you. We're going to win with you. We're going to build men, scholars. We're going to build champions. The bluff is where you want to be. To the alumni, the Jaguar Nation, thank you for your passion, your pride and support. We will definitely do our part to make you proud of us on and off the field and in the community. Lastly, why Terrence Graves? Glad you asked. I'm prepared. I'm qualified. I'm certified. But more importantly, I'm destined. And I'm a winner. And with all that said, I'm a builder of champions. Go Jags.
Now we'll open up for questions to the media for Coach Graves.
Coach, when did you get the call from Coach Banks, and what was your first reaction?
Got a call yesterday morning, and we were talking, and later on that day, I got the confirmation that I would be the next head football coach here at Southern University. My reaction, Remember when I stood up here a few weeks ago and I said, if I get the job, hallelujah. If I didn't, hallelujah. Well, hallelujah, I got the job.
This is your first head coaching job, right?
Yes.
What have you learned from being the interim coach a number of times, being an assistant head coach a number of times, that's going to prepare you for this moment now that you're playing?
Well, I tell you what it does, Mike, is you learn a lot of the do's and the don'ts. You learn what works for you and what doesn't work. So being an interim for three times gave me a chance to sit in the seat and understand the administrative side more than anything. Gave me an opportunity to work across the campus, and I think that's huge. You got to have relationships across the campus. You can't live in a vacuum. You can't be here in the field house all the time. We got to get out across the campus. Interpersonal communication and relationships is vital if you're going to be successful as a head coach, and that's probably more important than anything. And then being able to interact with the alumni, the community, the corporate sponsors. I've had an opportunity to do that. So all that's going to help me, along with the assistant coaches that I have. It's going to help me to produce a winning program.
Coach Banks talked about having a solid program, a foundation to build from. I guess just what's your assessment of the team, and where do you feel like you guys can grow?
Well, we're not that far away. If you remember, we were only one game away from going back to the SWAC championship game. So that's why I said it's not a rebuild, it's a reload. We have some players. I'm excited that I had a chance. Well, actually, I told Coach Banks this morning I was running a little late because I was doing a little recruiting on the phone. And then I looked at my watch and I said, man, I got to get out of here. So guys are calling. Guys are all in the boat. We had some guys that were kind of in limbo because they didn't know the status of the coaching staff. But now, and the coaches have been the other coaches have been using that, well, y'all don't know who the coach is going to be, but rip the tag off because it's official. I'm here.
All right, that's it.
Coach, after being an assistant for 30 years, what makes right now the right time to take that leap as a full-time head coach?
Everything happens in God's timing.
That's right.
As I tell the other coaches, I've told my friends, I told family, a lot of people always ask the question, when are you going to become a head coach? And I say, I don't control that. But the thing I always believed in and what I will always do, I will always work hard. I'll be loyal to the people that I work for and work with. So it's not about a specific time to become a head coach. Now, I think a lot of people get it misconstrued. I actually was a finalist for a head coaching job at 31 years old, and I had only been coaching 6 years. Now, I've had opportunities from time to time, but my motto is, or my thing is, I don't want to be a head coach for the sake of being a head coach. I want to be a championship head coach. So rather than get in some situations that weren't not favorable or to my benefit career-wise or to that program, I just stay a assistant coach and work and win championships that way because I knew eventually my time was going to come.
Coach, you got 9 players on the current team that say, or in the portal, or say they're. Are you going to try to re-recruit those guys back? Or?
Some I'm going to recruit back. And matter of fact, I was recruiting this morning with one. So, the transfer portal is what it is. That's college football today. And, you always wish them well. The thing that I tell them, if you're going to leave, always have a plan. And we're willing to help and assist them any way they can. The way that the college game is going now, you just have to, you just got to keep working. You got to recruit your guys on the team, and you got to recruit the guys to bring to your team because other people are going to come after your players, so you just have to constantly recruit.
Coach, how do you feel the openings that you currently have on your staff, namely the positions you have and also the offensive coordinator?
We'll sit down and evaluate that, and we'll fill those when the time comes.
You don't have any names that you're currently thinking about?
No, it'll come in due time.
You mentioned relationships. Do you feel like that's kind of been a missing piece the last 5 years or so?
No, I can't really speak to that. Only thing I can speak to is me, Terrence Graves and my relationships with people. I try not to be concerned with how other people are and how they do things. I always try to focus on on myself and what I can do and how I can do it to help the program. And of course, you know, I'm a people person, so you know, relationships are not hard for me to foster.
Have you talked to the team in the last 24 hours, and if so, what was their reaction?
We did a team Zoom call yesterday, and Coach Banks, he talked to the team, and when they said that I was the coach, I mean, those guys went nuts. And I'm sitting there, you know, kind of dressed in a shirt and pullover, and all they screaming, "Coach, get the hat, get the hat, get the hat." And I'm like, "I don't have a hat. Coach, you got a hat somewhere." So I had to get the hat, and I put it on. They said, "Well, put it on like you're supposed to." And I did that, and they went bananas. So, you know, those guys, God bless them.
How do you envision this program in 3 years under your leadership?
I'm a dreamer, I'm a worker, and I believe in championships. So putting that dream, having that dream, working the plan, the championship's gonna come.
What did you learn underneath Coach Richardson, and what's something that you've taken from him as a head coach that you want to apply?
You got time? You know, I'm writing a book, so you might want to get it's gonna be a bestseller. So that's probably a whole chapter. Man, you hit me with one now. That man, I said I wasn't gonna do it. You talking about a father figure, a mentor, a disciplinarian, because I got a lot of discipline under as a player and a coach. He's fair, and he believes in allowing you to grow, and he allows you to make mistakes. One thing about Coach Richardson, a lot of people don't know that Coach Richardson has a great sense of humor. He loves to laugh and joke. Now, he don't do it around everybody, but if you close to him, he loves to have a good time. And we were able to, as players, we were able to relate to him. Coach is the type of man that will discipline you, but then he'll turn around and love you up. And so I took that from him of discipline and then turning around and loving you up, because when you do that, there's nothing that players won't do for you when you show them that kind of love.
Obviously, your specialty's on the defensive side of the ball. Will you get involved on the offensive side? How do you want to approach it as a head coach?
I'm a football coach, so a lot of people don't know I played offense all the way up into college. So, and then I would always go in Coach Rich's office or Coach Orlando or those offensive coaches, places where I worked in, I would put up offensive schemes and show them how I would do this and do that or what have you. So we'd go, you know, the guy with the pen last was always right. Coach Bristol, when he was with us, you know, we used to always talk about that wing tee. So, you know, people don't like the wing tees because it's not sexy to them, but, you know, they're still getting food today because that's all spread offense is. But, yeah, I'm going to be active in not going to be hands-on, but I'm going to be active in all phases of the game, you know, and that's what you do as a head coach.
You feel like the identity of the team will change much?
No, I think the identity of our team has taken on the personality of our coaching staff for the most part. And I think that they are really ready to chomp at the bit to finish the things that we left out there on the table. I think that the Bayou Classic win gave them a confidence to springboard us into winter conditioning, going into spring ball into the fall. So I think the attitude is there. I think the mindset is there. We just have to add some pieces to. We just had to add some pieces to the team, and then we'll be fine.
Any other questions for Coach? All right, thank you, Coach Graves.
Thank you.
Let's bring in Athletic Director Roman Banks to answer any questions that you have about the process and what have you. Coach Banks? All right, any questions, guys?
Roman, you talked about coming around full circle. And the last time we were in this room, we talked about understanding the importance of humility, I guess, is probably the easiest way to describe what you said. What do you see in Coach Banks that kind of can bridge the gap that Southern needs to build right now?
So I think that in Coach Graves is that he doesn't meet a stranger, right? And I think that by him having an understanding of this community, I think that he knows what success looked like here at Southern. Obviously, he had a lot of it when he coached here. And I think that his mindset of grooming and speaking with him of grooming young men into men, and also having them work in the community and realize working around our alums and around the city will open up some doors that's been closed. And I think that he's not afraid to stand in front of whomever it is and tell the story of Southern University. And he also can what we think sometime if a person come here and looking beyond these hills, what they may think is a negative or a hindrance, he know how to take that piece and look at it and make it a positive without making an excuse for it. And so I think you're going to have a coach that come right in and be well groomed, not trying to learn the process, but know the process as it relates to Southern University and expectations.
Was he a candidate when you went through this process 2 years ago to be head coach?
So, you know, and you go back and look, for me, I think being a basketball coach, being an interim coming in and trying to put the program in place and trying to make sure you meet all the expectations, Coach Graves was one of the best that interviewed. And perhaps I put a cap on limitations because I kept, it was told, we kept saying that we need a coach with head coaching experience. And so, and the committee was like, he blew it out the doors when he came in, and obviously we went in another direction. But it made me realize that we wanted a coach, one of the things that we talked about, that we want a football coach. We prefer a coach that has collegiate experience. We prefer a coach that's been a coordinator, assistant head coach, but it didn't mean that they had to be a head coach. And I had to look at myself and be true to that, because I maybe capped some things that shouldn't have been capped the last time. And so everybody critique themselves, and all of us sometimes go back and second guess ourselves. But I wanted to make sure that this process, once again, was open. And once again, I say it again, is that you get caught up in the hype thinking you have to go outside and get this big name person, and in the spirit of trying to do that. And unfortunately, with that situation, things didn't turn out. I guess things did turn out right. Those things didn't work, and we came right back to the candidate that's at hand.
Watching this season, did you also get the feeling that that this team is not that far off, so we can really stay in house to make that hire?
So a key point is that I feel like the talent in the room. Matter of fact, I know that the talent in the room, and I know what's out there. I probably haven't been as close to a program over this past year like I was with football because of our challenges and watching it and studying and speaking to them. I know the talent is in the room, and it's not about someone coming in, say, hey, I'm going to come in and give me 5 years and we're going to clean this thing up and I'm going to go a whole different direction. I think that we have the student athletes that's very capable. I think that you got a chance to see that perhaps in the Bayou Classic. I think it's all about hiring a person that can organize it and manage it on the field and off the field, and can get the very best out of student athletes. That's what it came down to.
Talking about the familiarity you developed with the team this year, did you learn anything about how maybe you could support the program better?
Well, I'm always talking to the coaches, so I'm going to support them the best way we can. And they know it's a knock at the door, and we're going to talk about trying to be better. I do think that not only Roman Banks, but Southern University, the booster clubs, the alumni, when called up on, we try to sow everything that we can into the program. And we're looking at ways to do things differently that can help. You know, this has been one of our best money maker years. We've been able to, the fans showed up. I think it's important that you listen to your fans and get a feel for your fans. And so, for as finance, as I've been athletic, I think over the last 10 years, we had a great run this year with ticket sales. And so we want to expand on that. And we want a person that can coach football and also be able to communicate with our fans and do work in the community at the same time.
Any other questions? All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This will conclude our press conference today here at Southern University. Thank you for coming today. Drive safe. Go Jags.
Go Jags.